Hi, in today's episode, we will be doing 2024 SPM state paper. Let's start with this chapter, electromagnet, with the Johor question. So this is actually a question 11 essay, whereby the first question, typical, they will start with a definition. What is the meaning of electromagnetic induction? So remember, why do you have electromagnetic induction is when you take a north-south magnet, when you have a magnet, so in between your magnet, you will have magnetic field lines, or also known as magnetic flux. If you take a wire and you go across it, now you will produce what in the wire? Okay, I give you 3 seconds. Induce what? Now, so many people would like to use this answer, induced current. To be exact, we have to call it as induced electromotive force, because you have to tell me that there is voltage first, then only you have to say induced current. Remember guys, you must always say EMF, then only can say induced current. Okay, so therefore, when you push this across it, you will have cutting of magnetic flux, also known as change in your magnetic flux. So what is the meaning of electromagnetic induction? It is the production of induced EMF. So in SPM, I suggest you for the first time, it is better to write electromotive force, bracket EMF, then later on you can use the short form EMF. So it's the production of induced EMF when there is relative motion between the conductor and the magnetic field. Okay, why we say relative motion? Because your magnet and your wire must move. Okay, either you move the wire or you move the magnet. Salah satu have to move. That's why we say it is called relative motion, which causes changing of magnetic field, or also known as resulting in cutting of magnetic field. So last time this definition can be much shorter, but nowadays textbook, because they add this part, which is the relative motion between the conductor and the magnetic field, a lot of schema jawaban tend to leave out this part. But if you check the state paper schema jawaban, they have already officially added this part in. They updated the definition already. Okay, now next, so let's look at part B. Now, so here you have to compare the number of magnets. So if it's 3 marks, usually there'll be 3 things you have to do. You have to compare the number of magnets, compare the density of the magnetic flux, and compare the angle of deflection. So obviously, I'm just going to be very quickly. Okay, you will see that this one looks like one magnet. This looks like a few magnets stacked together. So we will just have to say that your 11 point B has more number of magnets than 11 point A. The density of the magnetic flux in 11B is going to be stronger than 11A. So density, we will say higher density, or we can say stronger density also can. Then after that, what about the angle of deflection? So you can look at the arrow here, because this has more magnet, so therefore this will result in a higher cutting of magnetic flux, also known as higher change of magnetic flux. So oleh itu, you will realize that this will have more deflection of galvanometer, means that you have more induced current, induced EMF, induced current. Okay, so now I'll skip that part of the writing. So the number of magnets and the density. So come on guys, very simple one relationship. You just have to tell me as blah 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 increases, blah 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 increases or decreases. So when my number of magnet increases, the density of the magnetic flux will definitely increases. And when the density of the magnetic flux increases, the magnitude of the induced current will also increases, because if you have more magnet, you have more cutting, more change of magnetic flux, so you will produce more induced current. Okay, so now we are going to go into a basic principle of a transformer. I will do one essay question with you as well. Okay, so this is a 4-mark typical question. How do we write this thing? So remember, when you write transformer, the first answer you have to write is you always have to say that the input voltage, okay, input voltage uses something what we call alternating current. Okay, so the first mark will be awarded to if you tell me this is an alternating current. So for people who do not know what is an alternating current, the alternating current is a current that goes like this lah, like go up, go down, not stable one lah. Why do you want to have alternating current? Okay, so here goes number 2. We can say that the alternating current, I write short form, okay guys. Now, I highly recommend you all to write together with me. Okay, so you can download this file, which is in the description, and on your iPad, do it together. So alternating current causes the soft iron core to be magnetized. Okay, so sometimes they will award mark for this, or you can say the soft iron core to be magnetized to produce a changing magnetic field. Okay, remember guys, we accept magnetic field, or you want to write magnetic flux, also okay. Alright, so you can write magnetic field or you can write magnetic flux. Okay, after that, what's next? The next part is number 3. Then you will say that the secondary coil will cut through the changing magnetic flux to produce induced electromotive force in it. So when you have cutting of magnetic flux in the secondary coil, okay? So remember guys, if you want to write cutting of magnetic flux, you can say that through the chain, it will cut through the changing magnetic flux. Okay, this you got write cut, you got write change is the best answer to produce induced EMF. Then after that, then you just write this causes induced current to flow in the secondary coil. So guys, in my opinion, this answer is the simplest form. Okay, let me tell you what are the words that you have to remember. So you must remember that it uses this thing called alternating current. Okay, you need to know that it will cause the soft iron core to be magnetized. Okay, let me draw out. So there will be alternating current. It will cause this iron core to be magnetized. Remember, magnetized are not the current. Nobody says that the current will flow through the core. In fact, you don't want current to flow in the core. Okay? So what you are trying to do here is you are using your alternating current. You are trying to produce magnetic flux here, okay, or you are trying to make magnetic field. Then you take this magnetic field, you cut through the secondary coil. So this magnetic flux will actually fly through and it will cut through the secondary coil. And when there's cutting in the secondary coil, suddenly bzzz, here you will have induced EMF, meaning to say that your magnetic flux will produce back the induced EMF, which is your voltage, which then causes your induced current to flow. Okay, can? Now, yeah, so that's it. It's a very simple physics concept. Tak payah susah-susah one. Okay, magnetize. So therefore, changing magnetic flux. But you must write changing magnetic flux. You cannot just write magnetic flux. So the secondary coil, he cut through. So to produce the induced EMF in the secondary coil, which is this green color part, which causes the induced current to flow in the secondary coil. So if it's a step up, means your voltage increase, means there's more cutting. That's why your voltage will increase. If it's a step down, means that you're cutting lesser. So your voltage become lesser, right? Okay, so if they ask you what principle is used in a transformer, we will say that we uses this concept known as electromagnetic induction, but sometimes we can also say that they uses Faraday's law. Okay, Faraday's law states that if you have more coil, you have more cutting, you will produce more voltage. That's why it's a step-up transformer. So in this picture, because there's lesser coil on the right, so this is a step-down transformer. Okay, so guys, if you don't know what's Faraday's law, go and read it. You might need to use the definition in your exam. Okay, suddenly we come to this generator. Okay, as for generator, we will talk about it later. Okay, why not let's look at calculation related to transformer first. So here we have this transformer, okay, which is related to a Kedah paper, which will want you to explain the working principle of transformer again and then 4 marks. So guys, if I were you, I will try to practice writing this again because so far it's a common topic, especially in 2024 Punya state paper. Okay, now if you want to know why I do 2024 state paper, why don't you read the comments? Maybe someone will share, or any kind people will be willing why I'm discussing 2024 state paper. Now, okay, so we see this one. We have a transformer connected to 240 volts, light up. This number of turns is this. And then they tell you that this is an ideal transformer. Okay, any idea why do you need to know it is an ideal transformer? Kenapa they want to tell you it's an ideal transformer? Because if it's an ideal transformer, meaning to say that its efficiency is 100%. Meaning to say that the VPIP will be equals to the VSIS. My power in my primary, the power in the primary will be equals to the power in the secondary. Kalau they never write ideal, you cannot use this VPIP, VSIS. Cannot, okay? Now, let's have a look at the number of turns in this one. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, there's this formula which is a very straightforward formula. VP over NP, Vs over Ns. So it's a ratio of voltage to number of turns, voltage to number of turns, left hand side everything primary, right hand side everything secondary. Very senang punya, okay? Now, so what about the voltage in primary? So this is your power supply. So we will put 240 volt of power supply. You want to find the number of turns in your primary, which is NP. Then this part is 18 volts. Guys, don't kena tipu, you know. We are looking at the voltage, not the power, which is clearly written 18 volt. Then secondary coil is 30 turns. This is my number of turns of secondary coil. So finally, I will be able to calculate out my number of primary coil. Okay, guys, help me to press calculator, double check if I've calculated correctly or not. I think it's about 400 number of turns. Okay, now actually you don't have to write unit. There's no, I mean you don't have to write the turns up, but I will write it because every single time when I see a number with nothing at the back, a bit scared a bit. Alright, then next, what about the current in the primary circuit? So we can do VPIP, VSIS. Here I can teach you all how to curi tulang. Okay, you know this is your power, right? Correct. So which means that this is 36 watt already lah. But sometimes some people they very cute one. You know what they will do? They will take P equals to VI. They calculate this one power how this one the current IS is how much first. So they'll take 36 equals to this, calculate the current in the secondary coil because this is in the secondary circuit, right? And then they'll calculate IS equals to 2 ampere. Oh, 2 ampere. Then when they come back here, they take the 18, they will multiply the current secondary coil. Of course, you get back 36 because you use the 36 to calculate the 2, right? Then now you take 18 multiplied by 2, you get back the same thing, okay? So my voltage in my primary is 240 volts. So what is my current in my primary? I think I will get 0.15 ampere. Okay, Ken? Alright. Remember, if there is efficiency related, okay, there is always an additional formula. if it is not an ideal. So transformer efficiency has a formula of VSIS VPIP multiplied by 100%. So this is an additional formula for us to calculate if it is a non-ideal transformer. But you don't worry, if it's a non-ideal transformer, they will give you the efficiency, so you will just do the same thing again to calculate out your IP. Is it more difficult? No, but it is just more lecture to do so. Okay? Now, since we are done with the calculation of transformer, why don't we take this opportunity to do a transformer essay question? Okay, so this is transformer to reduce 240 volts to 6 volts. So the phone charger heats up easily. So let's have a look. Okay, we are looking for second for the thing to step down from 240 volts to 6. So kalau 240 volts to 6, which means that the ratio of my coil must be how much? Should be 40. If I try to calculate this, it should be 40 to 1. So I'm looking for 40 to 1. So guys, you see, the answer is so obvious that it is going to be Q, correct? How are we going to explain this, guys? It's so easy. Okay, remember, write this down because I don't want you to just watch this video and then tomorrow you wake up and then you forget. Alright, so if you still not convinced yet, try to download this and do it along with me. Okay, what is 40 to 1? So why? So we will choose this because we want to reduce, or you can, to be more exact, we can step down 240 volt to 6 volt because we accurately know that we want to charge at 6 volt for my phone charger. Okay, what about soft iron, laminated, all this? Okay, so since we are about so near to SPM, okay, I think that you should try to just remember the keywords. So for soft iron core, we will usually say we want to reduce the hysteresis losses. Okay, why? What is hysteresis losses? Because we say that your soft iron is magnetized and demagnetized easily. So it is easily magnetized and demagnetized. Meaning to say that, okay, hysteresis is something to do with the material because your soft iron core needs to be magnetized and demagnetized. It will become magnet due to the changing magnetic flux. Then it will reduce its magnetism. So, because it magnet, not magnet, magnet, not magnet. So it will makan energy. So I want it to makan lesser energy. So therefore, I choose soft iron because it uses the least energy to become magnet. Okay, so if you don't want to write this easily, you can say because soft iron core uses lesser energy to be magnetized and demagnetized. Lesser energy, so I reduce the hysteresis losses. Okay, now what about laminated? Okay, laminated has another problem. Okay, what's the problem? Okay, so laminated core will be able to reduce something what we call eddy current in the core. Okay, so if you reduce eddy current, what's the negative of eddy current? So if you charge your phone before and you touch your charger here, meaning to say that you will realize that it heats up, correct? And why it heats up is usually due to there's eddy current stuck inside the charger. Do you want the current inside the charger? No, you want the current to come out and go into your phone. Okay, you don't want the current to be stuck in the core. If your current is stuck in the core, it will be like what I said just now. That is not what we want. We want it to become magnet. We don't want the current to be inside. Because if we get magnet, we can have more cutting and more induced EMF. Okay? Now let's come back to here. So if I reduce eddy current in the core, I can reduce the heat produced. Now remember one thing to note, guys. Don't always say prevent. You cannot prevent heat loss. You cannot prevent energy loss. You can only reduce the energy loss. So try to refrain from the word using prevent. Okay? Last but not least, how are we going to explain this one? Coil together. No. Okay, because you see here they never give you the name of this, right? So if you don't know what's the name of this, okay, let me tell you what is this called. It is actually the coil. They are coiled together. So this susunan, the arrangement, is by properly calling this as winding your primary coil on top. If you don't want to say on top, you can say around the secondary coil. Means you try to put them together. Okay? So the reason why we want to put them together is because we want to reduce the leakage of magnetic flux. You are trying to reduce the leakage of magnetic flux. So this is something very important. Okay, so obviously the last part you just have to state that why you use Q, because it is a transformer that has 40:1 soft iron core, laminated core, and the arrangement is winding primary around secondary. Is winding secondary around primary coil. Yeah, because your primary coil release, your secondary must catch. Okay, so what you are trying to do is that your primary coil, imagine if this is primary coil, it releases magnetic flux. So your secondary coil must coil around it. Okay, can? Now, okay, so it's a very simple answer. Secondary over primary are not primary over secondary are. Okay, so as for transformer, biasanya is just like this. However, I am more worried about things like motor and generator, because the way to answer motor and generator is very different. So let's look at our Kelantan punya paper. So before we even start, we want to check whether is it a motor or a generator first. Remember, motor punya question, usually inside they already give you the battery. Kalau generator punya question, of course lah tak ada battery. Okay, why no battery? Because what's the purpose? You want to produce electricity, right? If you want to produce electricity, why do you want battery inside? So that's why there's no battery. So what's the meaning of a catapult field? Okay, so a catapult field is usually you have current from the magnet from the current, which is found by using your right hand grip rule, plus the magnet from your north-south magnet, which is the north to south punya magnet, and when you combine them together, boom, you will get a catapult field. Okay, so it is the resultant magnetic field. It is the resultant magnetic field from the interaction between magnetic field from current carrying conductor, which if you see this word, right, current carrying conductor, it's like very high tech, right? But actually this just means current in the wire. What is carrying conductor? A wire law. Okay, and the direction between magnetic field from the wire and the magnetic field from the permanent magnet. Okay, you just have to tell me it's the interaction between your north-south magnet and the wire. You interact, you form a resultant magnetic field known as catapult field. Okay, so usually from here, you have to be able to use something what we call the Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, how to know this is Fleming's left hand rule? Like I said, Fleming's left hand rule is motor, and then there's another one more called Fleming's right hand rule, which is generator. Now, for more information on Fleming's left hand rule and right hand rule, you can refer to the other video, which I talk about the differences between left and right hand. Probably I will link it in the description below. Okay, so as for how to do this, okay, I've already used my Fleming's left hand rule, okay. I know that the force of this is going down, and I know that the force of this is going up. Okay, so if you want me to teach you how to see the force, that is another video lah, guys. I'm sorry lah. Okay, so the top part here is usually strong. That's why it will push to the lower part. So the bottom part sini pula strong. That's why it will push towards the top part. So therefore, between the stronger part, you draw more lines. Okay, you draw more lines that goes from the stronger part to the weaker part. Okay, but of course, guys, later on you have to erase that. Don't you write strong in your exam like that. Okay, you can even add one more line. Okay, just to make it nicer. Teacher, why you draw so ugly one? Guys, they don't really care whether is it ugly or not. Okay, but you can draw until like maybe if you want to draw nicer, you can draw like curve higher dan sebagainya lah. Okay, and then after that, you just have to end it with a bit of magnetic field lines like this. Okay, and then you just draw another two more here. Okay, if possible, guys, don't lukis di luar of the magnet. Okay, so meaning to say that, you see, I've already probably broken my rule, so I just want to like shrink it a bit lower, I guess. Okay, yeah, so don't exceed the highest point of the magnet. Then after that, you will realize that you just have to tambah, then you put arrow. Okay, now do's and don'ts. Don't draw until putus. Your teacher will minus mark one. Okay, now don't draw putus, yeah, and make sure that no two lines can touch each other, guys. If you draw touching, sure salah one. Okay, if you draw until your line touching or intersect, sure salah one. Okay, now so therefore that's it. Okay, then now this is a screw driller that very low speed, very slow. So okay guys, a driller uses motor ataupun generator. Okay, so before you even start doing all these essay question or structured question, right? Okay, always ask yourself first, motor generator. Okay, if it's motor, then we ask ourselves the second question. Motor punya purpose is to produce what? Force or current? You must answer this question first. Force or current? Motor. Motor, of course, you want to produce force, right? Okay, then you have to ask yourself, why got the force? Because got catapult field lah. Why? Because you got the magnetic field to push it lah. Kalau macam tu got force, so if you got more force, what's the advantage? So you can rotate faster lah. So all of our explanation will be based on these three words. More catapult field, more force, rotate faster. If you don't believe, check. Okay, so here your motor, your this inside your motor, right? Why do you want more number of turns of coil? String. Okay, masalah that I always face is a lot of students will write, teacher, increase rate of cutting of magnetic flux. Motor got cutting of magnetic flux or not? Don't have, right? Motor is just something that rotates, right? So there's force driven, right? So don't go and do this what increase rate of cutting, cut you, I tell you. So therefore the answer here is that why more number of turns? Because you can say you can produce stronger force. Kenapa? Due to stronger catapult field. Okay, because if you have more current, you will be able to produce stronger magnetic field. If you have stronger magnetic field, then what do you have? You will have more force lor. Then you can rotate faster lor. Okay, what about the shape of magnet? So this one is you want the shape to be like this one for the magnet. We will call this as a concave shape. Kenapa concave shape? Why concave shape? Very simple lah. Because you want to produce radial magnetic field. Okay, there are many ways to explain this. Okay, but I just want to keep it simple. Guys, if your motor rotate, right? So rotate go in a circle one, right? So if you do in a circle like this, the distance of your magnet and your coil is equal distance, right? So it will rotate more evenly. You imagine if your magnet is flat side one. Okay, flat side like this one, your magnet flat side. So when this thing rotate, right, what is the problem? The problem is kadang-kala you very dekat, you are very near to the magnet. Sometimes you are very far away from the magnet. So therefore the distance between a straight line and a curve is sometimes very near, sometimes very far, very near, very far, very near, very far. So therefore it is not uniform. Okay? So you want to produce radial magnetic field. Of course, the actual reason is because, you know, the magnetic field come up, it's curved, everything, but you don't really need to draw that. Okay? Finally, the wire material. Of course, we will use copper wire, but my personal favorite, I don't like to write lower resistance. I would like to write this thing called lower resistivity. Kenapa lower resistivity? Because then only I write it has a lower resistance, so therefore more current can flow or dan sebagainya. So that is my reasoning. Okay. Now, what about if motor is macam ini, then generator how to jawab? Okay, generator also lebih kurang sama one. Okay, let me show you here. Do you realize that